Kengan Ashura, we got the conclusion of round 2 of the Annihilation tournament, the invasion from Hyami which failed, concluding the most recent season after 4 years. Take note, the next season, Season 2, Part 2 or Season 4, whatever you want to call it, is already confirmed for 2024. Hopefully the start of next year. At the end of the season we got a mini trailer of Oma's fight against Cosmo, so they're already working on it. Considering the schedule that happened with Part 1 and Part 2 of Season 1, that was around 6 or so months apart, so I'm guessing early next year. Absolute hyper wait. But today I'm talking about the most recent anime season. Was it as good as the previous? Was it better? How is it in comparison to the manga, and pretty much everything we really need to talk about. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I talk about fighting, anime and manga here. I've been making videos in regard to Kengan for around 4 years at this point. Since the previous seasons actually concluded, the manga is still ongoing. The sequel manga known as Kengan Omega, definitely get on that. Make sure to check out all my other videos, but let's talk about it. Regarding the fights in the season and how I would rank them regarding the anime adaptation, not really counting the manga adaptation, just based on how the anime bring forward the fights from the manga, not which fight I think is better as a whole. I've gone over that in various other videos. I think the first fight, Waka vs Julius, was done very well, introducing us to the season. The blast score of course was quite peak. Seki vs Mutaba I would say was probably done the best. The reveal of the one and only Marvelous Seki was done absolutely amazing. Seki's flashback as well, and this overall that fight was probably done the best. Rei vs Saw Pang was solid as well, a fight I would consider to be fairly underrated, and I think this was definitely portrayed well in the anime. Sen vs Bando I guess was average, even in the manga it's probably the worst fight in round 2 to me personally. They pretty much adapted everything they really needed to regarding that, so solid all around. Kano vs Gao Lang I don't think is as good as the manga. This is mainly due to the intensity and of course the insane art at certain panels, but when it comes to the anime adaptation it was solid. But there was one fight I think they did pretty poorly compared to most of the others. That was Kuroki Gensai vs Kiryu Setsuna, one of the most low-key hype and pretty much twist fights in the entire series. Prior to this, we had Kiryu set up as the main rival for Oma, having passed with him, all of us anticipating to see their fight in the tournament. Then out of nowhere, this old man, revealed as the beard god in the anime. I can't believe they actually confirmed that. If you don't know, I've been calling him the almighty beard for years at this point. A lot of us in the fandom have been talking about his beard, the bearded god, stuff like that. They included that in the dub version of the anime, so quite pog. But some aspects of this fight were kinda cut a little bit. If you look at these panels, do you remember moments this hype in the fight? I don't really think so. Most other fights included pretty much every moment. I don't know if this was just the pacing or how the anime tried to tone down the insanity of Kiryu's fighting style, making it seem a little slow and not as hype, and I do believe they cut a few things here and there. So I would say that's the worst fight and that the manga version is a lot better. But it wasn't terrible per se. I still enjoyed every fight we got to see throughout this season. One main issue regarding the season was Hyami's invasion or failed coup d'etat. A lot of stuff was actually cut from this. For example, in the manga we got like a full chapter or various moments dedicated to Kure Ryan fighting multiple top level guardians. As a fan favorite character and someone who was eliminated in round 2 by Oma, we wanted to get to see him fight in this season, but they cut that scene completely. The reveal of the extermination force has still yet to occur, and various moments of the other characters fighting the guardians was also cut, some of them being key. They also decided to call the group known as the Worm the Bugs throughout this season, which was a little interesting. In the manga, we all know them as the Worm. That's pretty consistent. I don't know why they decided to call them the Bugs. A little wacky. They also changed the name of the ultimate technique of the Nico style. In the manga, it's known as Demon's Bane. In this, they called it Demon Slaughter. Of course, it's not a terrible change, but I definitely prefer Demon's Bane. I will continue to call it that throughout all my future videos. So, did I enjoy the season? Do I think it was good? Yes, without a doubt, this is how I got into Kengan. Even back in the previous season, there was a lot of things actually cut from that. That didn't really take away from what I enjoy about Kengan, the fights themselves. Yes, the broader story and some little character interactions and aspects are cool to see, but if you want to get those, just read the manga, something I still would consider as the superior version of the story. And if I'm being honest, what anime really surpasses the manga adaptation if it isn't called Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer? Not really many. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people are actually turned away by the Kengan Ashura anime being created via CGI. I personally don't mind it, and I think it does add advantages when it comes to the complexity of the fight and the flow of movements various characters do. It doesn't mind me. Of course, it does look goofy at times, but I'm used to it at this point. The hypes are done quite well regardless of CGI being used or not. And you could just say the main purpose of the Kengan Ashura anime is just to represent the fights in the tournament, and that's really what it's all about. There is one very important fight and flashback later on in the season, probably in the next one, that I hope they don't cut regarding Oma and another character. Speaking about Oma, we got more of his flashback regarding his training with his master, more insight to his flashback and how Kiryu relates to that. Of course, Kiryu's whole flashback as well. There is more to be revealed in the future, most likely coming in the next season, so all of that was quite good. I do still enjoy the unique art style choices regarding the other character flashbacks that they decide to use at certain points. It is a very unique aspect of Kengan. Of course, it does mean they cut quite a few things, but you get a brief understanding of all the characters and what you really need to pretty much understand who they are, their fighting style, everything like that. I would say it's probably on the same level as the previous seasons. Of course, the fights as a whole are a lot better because round 2, all of round 2 is absolute peak. I think the manga is still the best choice to get into the series, but as a fan of the series, as someone who started getting into the series via the anime, I still enjoyed every aspect of it and would honestly give it a solid 8 out of 10, and I'm still very excited for the future seasons. For example, we have Cosmo vs Oma, Mutaba vs Wakatsuki, I've been saying his name wrong for years at this point, Hatsumi-sen vs Kano, and Kuroki vs Rei for round 3, and in round 4 in the final, etc. I'm not going to spoil it in today's video, but more hyperweights. I would also like to say the portrayal of the character's strength and power with various moments throughout the anime were lowered much more compared to the manga version. For example, we have Sawpang's headbutt in the manga compared to the anime's version of that. Yes, he does the same motion, etc., but the impact and overall strength portrayal isn't really the same. Also, with Oma learning the secret technique of the Nikko style, it was far more extreme, powerful, explosive in the manga, which I'll continue to use for the purpose of like power scaling characters, which will continue on the channel. Stay tuned for those. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to join the Discord to be part of the Kengan community. We talk about that every day. Chapters come out weekly for Kengan Omega, so definitely join. People explain to you where to read from, etc. Let me know your thoughts on the season down below. What would you rate it? Check out the other stuff in the description. That's it, guys. Peace.